Hi everyone and welcome, my name is Dora and this is my 9th update to my No Buy project pan. As you can see from the timestamp, it's a long one. We've got a quarterly update, which means I'm showing you every single item that I've still got within this project, including swatches. Oh yeah. I am super excited about today's update for two reasons. The first one is that some beautiful panners have joined me in this No Buy project pan challenge. I've absolutely loved watching their intros. Please go and check them out. I've linked their intros and their channels down below. Go over and say hi, send them some love. They're really like, you know, it's a big deal to like put yourself on a no buy, even if just for certain categories. I mean, Jessica Lee has added 36 categories in her No Buy project pan. So go ahead and check out Ruth Foley, Kana and Jessica Lee. And like I said, I've linked their intro videos below. And going forward, I'm probably gonna link their playlist if they've got one going for this specific series. What I really enjoyed was hearing their numbers for each individual category and their go numbers, because as much as I love all these project pans that we all do, I don't know, like, how many lipsticks have you actually got? I'd love to know. And what's your end goal? You know, where are you going with this? I love this project so much for bringing the bigger picture back into panning, if that makes sense. And now all of us, let's not forget this, all of us have been inspired by the beautiful Jessica Payne and her 50 No Buy project pan and her 100 No Buy project pan. I think that's the right wording. Anyway, there are two playlists in my description box, and Jessica Payne started this off, or at least this is who I watched and who inspired me to do it my sort of tweaked way. And she has essentially been panning her way through either 50 or 100 products respectively. And she's on a no buy for most of her categories within her inventory until she's hit 50 or 100. She's already done the 50. Took her a couple of years, I think, from memory. So go check out Jessica Payne as well if you haven't already and cheer her on. Oh my gosh, we got cut off. My storage was full. I still haven't told you the second reason why I'm super excited about today's update, because the first category is moving out of this project. I'm so happy. And that means that the no buy has been lifted from that category and I'm free to buy something new. I'm very, very pleased with myself, as you can tell. I already recorded my update before I went away at the end of August, so let's rewind back and see where I'm at with all of my stuff. All right, I hope you enjoy. Lots of love. Foundations. In my last update, I was at 4 foundations. And just so you know, in total, I've had 7 foundations in here. And my goal is to be down to 2. And I'm finally down to 2. Okay. What are the 2 that are left? Yeah, I'm going to start with that. So the one that I've got left is my concocted liquid foundation. Not a lot to say here. I mean, oh, I can actually see where it is. So it's about here. And yeah, since this category is moving out, I quite look forward to shopping for new foundation again. It's been a long, long time. The other foundation I've still got is this Westman Atelier one that I got from the lovely Louise. This is in the shade Atelier 0.5 and I think it's their lightest shade. I've used this a few times since I last showed it to you. And I do have a tiny bit of visible progress as well. So if you look at this red line here, this is how much progress I've got since I last showed it to you. This would have been in my April update. And yeah, 4 months later, I am here. I love this foundation. It's obviously very light, so, you know, doesn't always work. There's a seagull there, sorry, just got distracted. Yeah, I'm very happy to keep having this in my collection. I'm not in a rush to finish this. And anyway, foundation is done. The next foundation is an empty, and this is my Rimmel one. I think it's called Perfect Match Foundation, something like that. Check it out in the description box. I pumped whatever I could into my concoction, and then I used the brush to just, you know, access whatever I could from in here. That's how far I got. I shall recycle this because it's glass and plastic, so that should be cool. I don't think they want you to put glass containers into the makeup recycling bin. And then this one is actually a declutter. It was a declutter from a friend originally, so I don't feel too bad to, you know, get rid of it. I did make some kind of decent amount of progress since I had it, but obviously this shade is way too dark for me. Next category is brow products, and I've got 2 and I'd like to be down to 1, and I am years away from hitting that goal. But nonetheless, you know, there's probably some visible progress here in this MAC single eyeshadow that I use on my brows. I'm gonna throw a picture up from the intro so you can compare. I use this pretty much on a daily basis, although lately I have started using my brow pomade from Revolution quite a bit. I also put it into a project over on Instagram, so there might be like a tiny little bit of progress on here compared to the intro again. I probably find the pomade a little bit easier to use. I would have never thought that. Obviously, like, not committing to one of them or just make it even longer to try and finish them up, but that's okay. If that's the last category in here, so be it. Moving on to cream eyeshadows. A lot has happened in that category. I've got an empty. So I've got 5 and I'd like to be down to 3. Do have an empty here. This is the Maybelline Color Tattoo. I was working on this in Deca Panning. I bought this in 21 in May, yeah. And it lasted me 2 years and 3 months. And this is the last color tattoo. I've worked my way through 2 of them completely, and then there was one that I decluttered. Yeah, love these jars. I will reuse the jar. It's done. I'm quite happy. Did enjoy it, but I just don't love the application with a finger. I prefer the sticks. Yeah, we'll get into it. Coming up in a minute. All right. Then I've also got the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Amethyst. I haven't got any progress on that. Here's a swatch of it. I mean, I did use it for one video that I filmed, but it's probably not up yet by the time you're watching this. But yeah, I couldn't draw a new progress line. Also can't draw a new progress line on this e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Stick here in Rose Quartz. This is starting to dry up a little bit. Yeah, it seems a bit flaky. Can you even see that? Here. Yeah, I'm not prioritizing this right now. I've got 2 of these shadow sticks in projects now. And then like a cream eyeshadow in another project that is within a palette that I'm not even counting here. So yeah, very low on my priority list at the minute. I have also got this Kiko Milano shadow stick, my favorite, in the shade 58 or Lilac. And this is all I have left of it. And here is a swatch of that. And now, because I'm so low on this, I actually bought a new shadow stick and broke my nose line. But let me first show you the progress line. So this red chunk here is the progress I have made in the last month. And yeah, there's just not a lot left. Once it's flush with the packaging, my plan was to put it in here. This plan has just been scrapped. So the cream eyeshadow that I bought is an H&M one, also in purple. I thought it was a dupe for the Kiko, but it's not. The H&M Make It Easy eyeshadow pen in the shade Lavender Flush. Here it is. Let me give you a swatch. Yeah, it's not a dupe. Louise already figured that one out. She's got both of them as well. I can't roll this back down. I was trying to, you know, be a good panner and try and figure out how long is this so I can mark it in my notebook. And then as I was twisting it up, obviously not all the way yet, hardly. How much is in here? 1.5G. Yeah, and it's 1.6 in here. I know they're longer, you know, definitely longer than this. It just started making this sound, and yeah, that was that. My heart literally broke a little bit. Not being able to put the cap back on would mean that this would dry out. This is brand new. I have literally, this swatch is the first time I'm using it. I'm gonna have to cut this off and put it in here to save it. Maybe a message from the panning gods that I shouldn't have broken my knob eye so prematurely. But let's move on to eye pencils. In my intro, I was at 5 and my goal is to be down to 2, and I'm currently at 4 and I'm super close on 2 of them. So let's take a look at that. This one is the MUA eye pencil in Icon. And here is all I have left of it. Here is a swatch of that, this one here. And I'm wearing this both on my lower lash line today as well as on my lips. And that's why I think I've got quite a nice amount of progress. So without wanting to give away anything from the other ones, that red chunk you can see there is how much progress I have made in the last month. So yeah, there's not a lot left. I'm really quite hopeful that I can be done for my next update, the September one. This will definitely feature in that. In my regular updates, when it's not a quarterly one, I don't show you all the items. I just pick out the ones that I've got something interesting to share on. My next eye pencil is also quite small, and it's from NYX, and it's called Emerald City. And here is what is left of Emerald City. So again, a swatch. Here it is. Wearing it in my waterline today. Upper lid, and again that red chunk there is my progress from the last month. Not an awful lot, but it's because I've actually also got progress in the other two, whereas in previous months I would have only exclusively been using these two. I've got a tiny bit of progress on this Revolution Black Coal here as well. This is in another project again on Instagram. It's a panning revolution, so I've used it like a decent amount of times. And again, the red chunk is my progress in the past months. Yes. And then this is the Maybelline, what's it called? Line Refine Expression Kajal in the shade 38 Brown. Here it is. I took this on holiday with me, so I used this one every day. And here is my progress on that. I mean, the last line was from January, and that's the last time I went away and took it with me. So, yeah, that's how much progress I can make in about 8-9 days. So not too bad. I do quite like this one. It's waterproof, so I think I would probably repurchase this one out of all of them. I find the NYX a little bit too dry. This has got the right amount. Yeah, this is like a good formula for me. The next category is single eyeshadow. I've only got one and I'd like to be down to none. This is a Kiko one, just from the Smart collection in the shade 16. I had to fix it here because packaging broke on me. That little, you know, that little metal pin that holds the lid in place came out, and I can't even tell you when that happened. It was just suddenly, it was gone. I also have this in a project right now, and I want to try and hit pan on it. Not doing too great, but I'm wearing it on my outer corner today, so, you know, and I'm planning to take it with me on another trip that I've still got planned. So yeah, very slow progress, but I'm starting to think about working on it. Face powders. This is exciting because I have an empty. While I was away, I managed to finish a loose powder from Bare Minerals. This is the Mineral Veil in Original Mineral Veil all over, no, Original Mineral Veil. Completely done. And this happened in the middle of the trip. So for a day, I was using like a My Skin Color powder in my Pan That palette, and that worked really well. And then my mum said, because we were visiting my mum, that was the trip, yeah. I don't want to use this H&M loose powder anymore. Do you want to have it? So I was like, yeah, all right, I'll take it. So yeah, this is the light seamless setting powder. There are 6 grams in here. I don't think she's used it that much. We bought it together last year in August. Here is that. It's a lot lighter than the Bare Minerals one I had. It works fine, you know. This is my new travel loose powder. Oh well. It is what it is. So I was very briefly down to 2, and my goal is to be down to 1, but I'm back to 3 now. I've also got this Alverde setting powder here that I have not touched. I just need to put it into a project. Also, I am waiting to finish my Revolution pressed powder. I'm going to show you a little slideshow. So this is the matte base powder in P3. And I'll show you some pictures of what it looked like from hitting pan. I think it was also back in May 22, all the way to where we are today. And here is what it looks like right now. It's getting, I'm not gonna lie, it's getting harder to use it now. I'm only focusing on these bits, mainly that one really, without, you know, for a long time I was still like swirling around the edges. I think once it becomes impossible to use these bits, I'm just gonna crush it up. I won't repress it, but I'm gonna put it into the empty Bare Minerals container. I prefer a loose powder to a repressed powder, just because I suck at repressing. Let's talk about highlighters. In my last update, I showed you an empty highlighter, so I'm down to 1, and my goal is to be at 0. This is the Laura Mercier Shimmer Block Pink Mosaic. 6 grams in here. Here is what this looks like, and I'm just again doing a swirl. I've used all of that as a blush topper today. I really enjoy this one. It does accentuate my pores, so I'm not always into it. It's more like an evening thing or a filming thing. Like during the day, it can be a little bit too much for my sensitive soul. But I'm gonna give you some swatches. And let me swatch each color individually. Here are the swatches for those 4. And then I'm gonna do one swirly swatch. And that's the swirly swatch. Yeah. It's very nice. I'm wearing the lighter shade in my inner corner today. Yeah, I do like it, but yeah. I'm not sure I'm into highlighter that much, but that's okay, I've only got 1. Lipsticks. In my intro, I was at 8 and I'm down to 7 now, and my goal is to be down to 3. First up are these 2 concocted ones in Maybelline Color Tattoo containers. There's this one here, and then I've got this one here. Very similar, but they are kind of different. I'm going to give you swatches as well. This one is definitely more like a lipstick, and this one is more like a tinted lip balm, but I really like both of them, and I use both of them daily. I've got this one in my bathroom, and I've got this one. I just always put it on whenever I put my makeup on, and then I put like other lipstick on top. I'm not fussy like that. All right, then I've got this L'Oreal Blake's Pure Red as well, my wedding lipstick. I have sliced some off to concoct it into one of these. Haven't used it since my last update or last time I would have shown you. So yeah, no progress line on that. Here's a swatch of that. Then I've got my YSL Rouge Pure Shine in number 31. I'm working on this in decopanning, trying to finish it. And there's just really not that much left. I think I can probably do it for the end of this year. Here is a swatch of that. And I do have a new progress line. So here is that lipstick, and the red bit is what I used up since my last update, or the last time I showed it to you. Then I've got this NARS one here. I only use this every now and then. It's very pretty, but it's just not a priority right now because I've got so many, but like a lot of lipsticks and other projects. This is in the shade Tolède Satin, and there's a teeny tiny red line there in terms of progress. I think last time I showed it to you was in February. All right, interesting. Then I've got this MAC lipstick here, Lady Danger. I've got decent amount of progress on this because, again, I sliced some off a couple of times and concocted it. Here is a swatch of this, and this is the progress. And this is 3 months worth of progress. And finally, I've got the Velvet Kiss Lip Crayon in Decadence. Again, this is in It's a Panning Revolution over on Instagram. And I've got a tiny little bit of progress on this. I used this while I was away a few times. I quite enjoy it. It's nice to, like, you know, you can like blend it out, use it more like a stain. I enjoy it. And this is the teeny tiny amount of progress that I made. Only 2 traditional categories left before we get into nail polish and eyeshadows. In my intro, I had 5 lip pencils. I'm now down to 4, and I'd like to be down to 2. I'll show you this one first because I haven't used it. This is the Pouted Out by Makeup Gallery in Mango Splash. Here's a terrible swatch of that. Just not using it at the minute. Then I've got another Makeup Academy one in the shade Glam. It's very purple. Here it is, but I tend to like smudge it out and then it turns more pink. And here's the first time I'm actually able to show you a progress line for this. Super happy that I started working on it. So yeah, quite a decent chunk. Then I've got another MAC product. This is High Energy. Here's a swatch of this. And I have some decent amount of progress. So this little red bit here is my progress from May to August. There's also this huge pink chunk here. This is because, and I don't think I showed this to you before, this is because when I was sharpening it, at one point the pencil broke. So I had to keep going, and yeah, I lost a lot of product that way, but what can you do? You know, if it keeps like falling out of the pencil, then you just have to keep sharpening. Anyway, all right. Final lip pencil, NYX Pale Pink. I've been using this quite a bit. Let's put that here. Here's a swatch of this, and this is my progress on it. Again, from May, my last quarterly update, to today. Blush and bronzers. In my intro, I was at 7. I'm now down to 6, thanks to a declutter that I would have shown you in my last update. And I'd like to be down to just 2. They're basically 4 that I haven't made any progress on whatsoever, like not even used them once. There's the NARS Dolce Vita. There's that. It's really nice. I should really try and use that again, but you know, I'm trying to make progress on things, so yeah. Then I've got the H&M Do It All Stick in Rose Coral. Love this, can never find it anymore. Super beautiful. Oh my goodness, I need to really use this again. I feel like I always say that in these updates, but yeah, no progress on that. And then I've got 2 concocted Bare Minerals ones. I'm really close to decluttering them. These are my last Bare Minerals items that I've still got left from a 2017 advent calendar. Yeah, I mean, what is this even? Quite shimmery, glittery. I'm just not sure. Yeah. I've used them a lot, especially last year. I've just run out of steam on them. I might declutter them. But not yet. We're not there yet. And then my last 2 bronzers / blushes I use pretty much daily. There's the Makeup Revolution Super Dewy Liquid Blush in You Had Me at First Blush. Here is what that looks like. And yeah, if you rub it, it's very nice and pink. I really like it. Bought this last summer. Yeah, I have enjoyed wearing this a lot lately. And then finally, this Sizzly blush here. Only the top pan is the original one. I've got a teeny tiny pan now. And this is a Franken one. I'm wearing the Franken one today under the Laura Mercier. Yeah, it's not too bad, actually. Wow, they're so different, but yeah. I'm happy to keep working on this. I do want to pan the entire thing. That's it for my traditional products. I'm so happy that the first category's moved out, so I'm down to 9 categories now. Yes. All right. But then I added more in, as you know. So nail polishes and eyeshadows. Let's talk about nail polish. This is my focus polish, and I actually did concoct it and change the color. And I managed to do a little before and after swatch thingy so that I could show you. So here is what the shade looked like before. And then I added a little bit of this purple concocted shimmer in there that is just too sticky right now for me to wear it really. And now I've got this sort of rose powdery color here. I really like it. Can you see the slight shimmer in there? But I've only worn it once, so I'm gonna continue having this as my focus polish and try and, you know, get this down a little bit. Shall I? Yeah, I'll do it for another month and then I'll definitely pick another one to work on. Yeah, my least favorite color, because I'm kind of happy with this one right now. Actually, this I'm gonna make my focus polish. I haven't even used it yet, but I've got a lot of lilac-y shades. So I'm gonna make this one my focus polish for the month of September. This is Latent Denny I Like Lilac. Last time I selected 5 polishes that I've never used from my collection to try and use once. This was one of them and I haven't used it yet, so. Also in that selection were these 4, and out of those, I've only used this one here, which is H&M Head in the Clouds. It was a bit too sheer for me. So I think this could be another focus one to eventually like put something thicker in there to make it more opaque. And then this one is Makeup Gallery in Teal Bay, Makeup Gallery Blaze, and H&M Electric Pearl. And then I've got Makeup Gallery Teal Bay and Kundalini Hustle by Smith & Colt. I'm gonna put all 5 of these into this project now just to use once so that I haven't got any polishes left in my collection anymore that I have never used. So that's that. Eyeshadow palettes, my final category. So as you know, I put myself on a low buy, which means I'm not allowed to shop for palettes while I'm at home. And if by Black Friday I have finished 3 eyeshadow pans, I'm allowed to buy 1 new palette. And then I'm gonna review all of this. But I also said that I have had 3 trips coming up, so I allowed myself 1 palette per trip. The first trip, I didn't buy any palettes. On the second trip, I bought 2 palettes, and the third trip is still to happen. So I might still buy a 3rd palette on my 3rd trip. We shall see. I'll report back to you on my next update. But let me very quickly show you what I bought. I bought the Natasha Denona, my dream palette. It's the first Natasha Denona palette that I've got. It came highly recommended, this formula. And of course I haven't used it yet or swatched it. I'm just admiring this palette. I swear, on the trip, because I bought it kind of towards the beginning, I've just like been opening this every day and just stare at it. Especially this shade here, Vision. That shifts from mauve to green. Super pretty, super, super pretty. Can't wait to play with this once it gets rolled into a project. And then I also couldn't resist and bought the Beige Cosmetics Passion in Paris palette. Again, haven't used it yet, but the shade Arc de Triomphe did it for me, the duochrome. This shifts from like a silvery gold to purple. So pretty. I swatched it in the shop. I mean, both of these, obviously. So yeah, again, can't wait to use this. Like I said, my next update, I'm just gonna show you around 10 items where I've got visible progress to share. And then I'll report back on how I've been getting on with my polishes. And I'm gonna show you if I have bought a new palette on my final trip that I've still got coming up or not. And if I don't buy one, it doesn't mean that I can buy one here. It just means that I only bought 2 and that's okay. And then it's gonna get interesting. I think I might then include in my updates at least verbally. I might not like show you because that's probably going to be more like palette territory. But I'm going to talk you through where I'm at in terms of finishing actual eyeshadows. Oh, and I've just rolled in an eyeshadow into the Decluttering because I got the Joker and I'm trying to finish an eyeshadow there. So should I actually make that before November? That would count towards my 3, so I could buy a new palette. Very unlikely, and I do have to say that the shade is so beautiful. It's from a Beige Cosmetics palette, the Do Not Disturb one off the grid. It's such a pretty shade that one part of me is super happy is that I'm, you know, working on something so nice, but then another part of me is like, oh, but I haven't got anything like this left in my collection. So if I was to finish it, I'd be a bit sad about it. All right, enough babbling now. I do hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, wherever you are. And thank you so much for watching all the way until the end. So much love to you. Bye-bye.